Hello everyone. This is Ankit from Computer Science Section A. A very good morning to all of you. This presentation is to discuss about one of SAP's products, which is SAP HANA. HANA stands for High Performance Analytic Appliance. We'll get to know a lot more details about HANA in the whole presentation. The agenda for my presentation will be something like this. First, we'll discuss the challenges faced by huge amount of data these days. Then we'll see what exactly is meant by in-memory computing. After which, we'll discuss the in-memory computing in SAP. Then we'll have an introduction to HANA's vision and strategy. I end the presentation after explaining the solution overview, roadmap of HANA, and a few snapshots of the modeling studio. This slide shows the new challenges with the data we are discussing. The figure on the left shows that data has been increasing in three dimensions, which are velocity, volume, and variety. What this means is there are wide variety of data available. The speed with which we access data or we want to access data has a lot of demand, and the volume has been increasing ever since exponentially. This brings a lot of challenges to the data as shown on the right side. Higher NPS, which means Net Promoter Score, which gauges a customer's general sentiment of a brand, has been increasing. Fraud can become difficult to be detected. Risk mitigation becomes more important. Assets need to be tracked to increase productivity. Real-time demand increases and therefore supply forecast becomes more important. Product recommendation becomes important to increase the sales, and a few other factors which are shown in the figure. Why is there such a growing gap between data and its users? Devices are becoming more and more portable and smaller, and the data seems to be in huge abundance. A fact says that each minute 100 hours of video gets uploaded on YouTube. Wow, that's amazing. This will make it easier to know what I'm talking about here. Let's see how in-memory computing gives a solution to this. Data is becoming real-time these days. The in-memory technology allows this real-time data to be kept in main memory of a server. The difference between in-memory computing and general computing is that the data resides in main memory instead of the hard disk of a computer. This provides immediate results from analysis and transactions. This slide shows the technology constraints in a business outcome. According to the current scenario, we have increasing volumes of data. The calculation speed needs to be very high, and the type and diversity of data sources are huge. All this leads to information latency, which means the delivery of information from one end to another takes a lot of time. Thus, it leads to three business outcomes which are given here. The first one is suboptimal execution speed. Lack of responsiveness due to data latency and deployment bottlenecks, which means since the responsiveness becomes slow, the latency becomes more and the deployment bottleneck increases. Lack of business transparency. Sales and operations planning based on subsets of highly aggregated information being several days or weeks outdated. What this means is that the information which is delivered to the customers are outdated and several weeks or days old. Reactive business model. Missed opportunities and competitive disadvantage due to lack of speed and agility. What this means is because the data is delivered quite late, the opportunities are missed by people who really need it, and which this leads to a competitive disadvantage. This is a slide which shows the leapfrogging current technology constraints, which means if the in-memory computing is activated, then what the future state is going to be. Terabytes of data will be in memory. Thus, the hard disk will not be needed now. 100 GBs of data, this will make the throughput very large, which means 100 GBs of data per second can flow through the channel. Freedom from the data source. The data will need not be dependent on the data source anymore. All these factors make the data real time. This leads to three important outcomes. Flexible real-time analytics, which means now the data can be analyzed real-time on the fly and can be delivered to the customers. Improve business performance. Since the data analysis has become too fast, the speed of billing and reconciliation cycles for complex goods manufacturers increases. Planning and simulation on the fly based on actual non-aggregated data is more. Competitive advantage. One competitive advantage example can be from utilities industry. Sales growth and market advantage from demand cost driven pricing that optimizes multiple variables. Now, multiple variables such as consumption data, hourly energy price, weather forecast, etc., can be optimized using this in-memory computing. Let's now discuss the SAP strategy for in-memory computing. The slide here shows the guiding principles of SAP's in-memory computing. HANA for SAP is not only technology innovation, but it also adds a business value to the system. It's real-time analytics, process innovation, which lowers the TCO. Heart of future applications. The SAP HANA in-memory system becomes the heart of the future applications, packaged business solutions for industry and line of business. Customer co-innovation, which means the designs are made with the customers. The customers can make their own changes in the products, which can be delivered to them on time. Innovation without disruption, which means the current scenario need not be disturbed for the innovation to take place. New capabilities for current landscape are possible. Expand partner ecosystem. Partner built applications, hardware partners or software partners can be easily expanded with the in-memory computing using SAP HANA. This slide shows the SAP HANA architecture and the features of SAP HANA. The architecture here shows the interfacing of SAP HANA with different systems, which are SAP Business Suite. Also, the third party and SAP Business Warehouse can be attached to the SAP HANA. The third party clients with business intelligence clients can be attached to the SAP HANA using SQL, MDX, and PICS. SAP HANA Modeling Studio is attached to the SAP HANA in-memory computing as well. SAP HANA is a pre-configured out-of-the-box application. In-memory software bundled with hardware delivered from the hardware partner, HP, IBM, Cisco, Fujitsu, which means the hardware partners for SAP HANA are HP, IBM, Cisco, Fujitsu. In-memory computing engine. It's an in-memory computing engine, thus the whole of the data resides inside the memory. Tools for data modeling, data and lifecycle management, security, operations, etc. Everything is dealt into the HANA system. Real-time data replication via Sybase replication server. The data replication is handled by the Sybase replication server. It also supports multiple interfaces. It supports content packages which can be introduced over time. Extractors and data models can be added or removed from the HANA system. Capabilities can be enabled as soon as the development goes through the HANA system. Analyze information in real time at unprecedented speeds on large volumes of non-aggregated data, which means that even if the data is not aggregated, the information can be analyzed and delivered to the customers. Create flexible analytic models based on real-time and historic business data. Flexible analytic models can be created whereas the data need not be aggregated for it. Create foundation for new category of applications. The HANA in-memory computing creates a new category of applications. For example, the planning and simulation thus now becomes possible with SAP HANA. This outperforms current applications in this category. HANA also minimizes data duplication. This slide shows the technical overview of SAP HANA. The calculation model and the data storage is discussed here. The right side, we can see the architecture of the technical overview. SQL, MDX, SQL script, plan model, and other technologies are used as input. A calc model can be generated on the fly based on the input script. A calc model can also define a parameterized calculation schema for highly optimized reuse. A calc model supports scripted operations. We can see on the right side that the different technologies can pass the input into the logical execution plan, or the calculation model can be used to compile and optimize the input. The calculation engine then passes the output to the logical execution plan. The logical execution plan is built above the distributed execution engine, which then passes the output to the physical execution plan. The data storage, the metadata is stored in the form of row store, and the column store and the data being compressed is stored in the form of a column store, which compresses the row store data 10 to 20 times. This slide clearly shows the speed up which can be achieved with SAP HANA. SAP HANA is the engine of the real real-time enterprise. It provides a foundation on which to build a new generation of applications, enabling customers to analyze large quantities of data from virtually any source. So the users can use any source for data in real time. The example below showcases actual customer performance of a core reporting process. A simple process which usually would take 77 minutes before SAP HANA will run 350 times more fast, and it will be completed on the SAP HANA system within 13 seconds. This slide shows the SAP HANA roadmap. The in-memory introduction is somewhat like this. Today's system consists of the ERP and BW. The ERP and BW run on the traditional databases. BW is the business warehouse. Data is extracted from the ERP and loaded into the BW. BW accelerates analytic models. BWA is the business warehouse accelerators. Analytic data consumed in business intelligence or pulled to data marts. The analytic data which is consumed in business intelligence is pulled to the data marts. Now, when the SAP HANA system comes into picture, the in-memory computing becomes parallel. Operational data in traditional database is replicated into memory for operational reporting. The data which is stored in the traditional database is replicated into another memory for operational reporting. This data resides inside the memory. Analytic models from production EDW can be brought into memory for agile modeling and reporting. The analytic models can now be produced from the EDW and can be brought into memory for agile modeling and reporting. Third-party data like POS and CDR etc. can be brought into memory for agile modeling and reporting as well. Step 2. The primary data store for BW. This was planned in the Q3 2011. What happened was, in-memory computing used as primary persistence for BW. The business warehouse used the in-memory computing as the primary persistence. Business warehouse manages the analytic metadata and the EDW data provisioning processes. Detailed operational data replicated from applications is the basis for all the processes. SAP HANA 1.5 will be able to provide the functionality of BWA. This was the aim of 2011 Q3. Step 3. New applications. The next aim for SAP HANA was that the integration of new applications become possible for it. The new applications extend the core business suite with new capabilities. The new applications add extra capabilities to the current system. New applications delegate data-intense operations entirely to the in-memory computing. The data-intense operations are entirely dedicated to the in-memory computing. Operational data from new applications is immediately accessible for analytics. Real time. The operational data from the new applications can be immediately accessible for analytics. The analytics not only works for the stored data but can now also be active for the real-time data. Transformation of application platforms. Step 4, 2012-2013. Applications write data simultaneously to traditional databases as well as the in-memory computing. The extra feature which was added in this step was that the applications can write the data simultaneously to the traditional databases as well as the in-memory computing. Step 5, platform consolidation. All the applications, the ERP, business warehouse, run on data residing in memory. Analytics and operations work on data in real time. All the applications can now reside in the memory, and thus the analytics and operations work on the data in real time. In-memory computing is huge all the transactions, transformations, and complex data processing in real time. HANA, these slides show a few snapshots of the HANA information modeler. The information modeler, as we can see here, consists of a navigator. Navigator can be used to navigate from one system to the another. On the right side, we can show the details inside one system of the navigator. The system ND0 we can all see that the system ND0 has a procedure named HANA proc00. It has several other information. It has a folder named default catalog, which contains information about the authorization, the different users, and the roles which are assigned to the different users. The public synonyms is another folder inside this system. The sys system underscore sys underscore repo are the default systems which are present in all the systems. The information models for a particular system are inside the information models folder. This slide shows the procedure for adding a new system and specifying the system details. The host name in the form of IP address can be given in place of the host name. The instance number can then be specified and a textual description of the system can be given. This system can also be added to a particular folder or can be made as the root folder. After clicking on finish, the authentication needs to be given. The username and password will be authenticated and then the system will be created in the HANA model. When we create new attributes inside a system, we can give its name, description, the type. The type can be standard or time specific. Then any attribute of inside the HANA modeler system can be created or can be copied from one system to another. The attributes belong to a particular table. After creating a new attribute, it can be assigned to a particular table, and tables can be added or removed. The attribute can also be given as a key attribute, which means that the value for that attribute is necessary to be given. Also, the attribute views can be previewed using the data preview option in the menu. The raw data will be then displayed relative to the key figures or key attributes. This slide shows a few of the analytic models or the attribute models which can be created using the HANA Studio. Also, different hierarchies can be created from the Create Hierarchy menu. The name and description can be given, and different hierarchy types can be selected, which can be level hierarchy or parent-child hierarchy. The analytic view is similar to the attribute view. The basic difference between an analytic view and attribute view is that the analytic view is created using the attribute views itself. The attribute views just keeps an account of all the attributes from a table which can be needed in an analytic view. The example can be shown in the next slide. For example, the data foundation in the middle can be believed to be an attribute view, and all the blocks shown beside the data foundation block constitute the analytic view. The analytic view can be activated by right-clicking an analytic view and clicking on Activate after that. These were a few snapshots of the HANA Information Modeler. With this, I end my presentation. Thanks a lot for watching it. These are a few of the learning references. Thank you all.